Stacker, what's going on, buddy? Thought I'd try this, give this live stream thing a try. Never done it before. Where are you at in the world this week or today? So yeah, if you watch the news, it looks like the world is going to hell, doesn't it? Boise, Idaho. Boise's awesome. Good people out there. Like to spend some time out there someday. Is that where you live? Is Boise? L Stacker is one of my YouTuber buddies. He's a snowboarder. Pretty good at it too. Makes some good videos. You should check out his channel. Hey, Mike H. How you doing, buddy? Trying to figure this thing out here. Yeah, everybody's freaking out. It sucks. I think everybody is losing perspective of the bigger picture here. Acting a little bit crazy. I don't know who told everybody to go out and clean out all the toilet paper and hand sanitizers out of the stores, but they're absolutely ridiculous. Looking at the symptoms of the coronavirus itself, and diarrhea is not even one of the symptoms. So I don't even know what the hell they're planning on doing with all that toilet paper. Maybe they don't want to know. Oh, hey, thanks. I got this blue snowball from a good friend of mine out in New Hampshire. He sent it. He saw I was doing YouTube and he sent it to me. Brian, if you're watching, thanks, man, and thanks for this awesome webcam here too. I hope you like the exchange gift that I sent you in return. Hope it was suitable. A little taste of Wisconsin here. Yeah, man, your snowboarding videos are pretty cool. I'm not talented or coordinated enough to do any of that. I'd fall and break my head, be out of work even longer. But yeah, I suppose you're not going to be able to travel now as far as flying with all this nonsense going on. Snowing out there by Mike H. That's out in central South Dakota. It rained here some the last couple days. I'm in central Wisconsin, and no snow though. Windy as all heck. I don't think you'll be doing a lot of snowboarding here in Wisconsin. We're pretty flat land, but we got a couple good ski hills around us here. So, kind of interested to hear from other people how all this nonsense is affecting your life. From trucking standpoint, looks like the sky is falling. With the virus, and then the market crashing all around us, and freight was already kind of slow, kind of cheap. Not a good industry to be in right now. Jeepers. Although I hear bits and pieces, things are turning around a little bit. And well, we have only had 9 or 19 cases here in Wisconsin, and the governor just called off school for the next 3 weeks for every public and private school, and all kinds of other. They've canceled events that aren't even going to happen until May. They've already canceled them, which is absolutely ridiculous, if you ask me. People are overreacting. Not to say this isn't a big deal. People are going to get sick, but people are losing their damn minds. Need to keep things in perspective a little bit. Jeepers, not to sound morbid or inappropriate, but I'm pretty sure Jeffrey Dahmer has eaten more people than what the coronavirus has killed. And events that are 2 months away. Why the hell are you canceling that already? Yeah, the Walking Dead syndrome. There you go. you know, and nobody's supposed to shake hands and touch each other. I'm kind of concerned about, the trucking industry. That's the industry I'm in, obviously. And, if they decided to really limit travel, I tell you what, man, if they stopped us from traveling, this country would be, we'd be done in a matter of days. About 3 days, people would be robbing and killing each other for food. But hey, they probably already got plenty of toilet paper and hand sanitizer from what we've been seeing in the store. The wife saw somebody filling up 2 shopping carts and checking out. It's just by the time, that's enough hand sanitizer to last you 16 lifetimes. By the time you use any of it, this whole thing is going to be over. Uh, it's totally irrational. Yeah. I think people are stocking up thinking that they're going to sell it and turn a profit, but guess what? You're not going to either. It's only been a couple of weeks that they shut down everything in China. Already or the government's already kind of backing off and letting people go to work and go different places and everything. So, it's just not going to probably take that long here. The grocery store in Woonsocket was sold out of butt wipe. Yeah, I believe it. People are going around here to Target and Walmart and here and there, and they're totally out of toilet paper too, which I mean, for coronavirus, you should be buying like Kleenex and stuff like that. It's a respiratory thing more than a gastrointestinal thing. So, once again, you kind of find out who you're dealing with in certain things. Pay attention right now to who's acting crazy, and those are the people to keep your eye on when things really go bad. If we ever have a real crisis in this country, then you know right where the morons are, and the people you got to watch out for. So, and then you got stock market crash. Everybody's freaking out over that too, and I don't know. You got to keep your eye on the bigger picture. What's going on with the stock market. It's things were fine until the virus. This is all coronavirus related. The fundamentals really didn't change. There was some weakness in a lot of companies coming into this, but the coronavirus is what's causing all this. So if the fundamentals didn't change, I don't know why people are bailing the hell out. Just hang in there. Things will blow over and eventually get back to normal. You're going to see a lot of weakness going forward. The next, it's going to take companies probably a year to catch up to everything they lost, over these few months here. With people not going to school, not going to work, canceling events. Tell you what, canceling the NBA and the NCAA tournament and schools and people working from home is really going to hurt the economy here. But it's going to take a little bit to hit, when the future quarters, when companies start releasing their numbers, when it's really going to start to show up. But just kind of curious on what everybody's take is on it and how it's affecting different people, we already are kind of having the perfect storm in trucking. Freight is slow, cheap, and a lot of people are panicking there too. Are you having customers not letting you in the buildings and stuff, or, not wanting to come in contact with people? Everybody's, so scared of it. We're going to see another 40% drop in the markets. It's possible. Nobody knows. People are behaving so irrationally right now. It's ridiculous. Just, the media, it's their job to cover all this, but it's not their job to cause mass hysteria and panic. And that's kind of what they're doing. I don't know. Wish people would notice that too. Turn that shit off. Oh, pardon my language. Turn it off. Don't watch it. It's just going to bring you down and get people all hyped up. Sorry about that. I need to turn my doggone phone off. But if you are, in your older and immune system compromised, then I guess is rightfully to be concerned about it. Those are the people it seems to be affecting most. God, you can never turn these damn ringers off. Anyway, other than that, I'm just going about my life as usual. I refuse to do anything different. This 60,000 some people every year die from the flu in this country, and 50 have died, and everybody is losing their damn mind. Not saying this ain't bad or it could be bad or whatever, but people are totally losing perspective, not using their heads. That's unfortunate. But I think everybody needs to pay attention to what's going on around them, and kind of arrange your life or prepare. What if things happen? What if something happened that was actually really bad here? Cherry's Life of Journey. Hey, how you doing, Cherry? I just checked out your channel the other day. Pretty neat. Keep on keeping on with what you're doing there. Trying hard. Everybody check out her channel. Pretty neat. I like to check out other people's channels. See what everybody's up to. It's pretty neat. You make some new friends along the way and see some different things. People are real supportive. I always like to support them too. Oh, hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. I'm doing good. That's good. This is my first live stream. Thought I'd just try it out. See if anybody cared to take a look. Oh, 7 people. That's pretty cool. Never expected that. I didn't even think anybody would click on it. That's pretty neat. It'd be neat if this was two-way and I could see everybody else too, but it doesn't work that way. Yeah, what else now? Yeah, so it sounds pretty much like the sky is falling if you watch enough TV. And I don't know what it's like in every other industry. Mostly trucking, because that's the industry I'm in. You're the next Scotty K. Yeah. I could never. Yeah, don't buy a Toyota. How's that? That my good Scotty K impression? Scotty Kilmer, he's a car mechanic guy, and he's all animated and stuff like that. Everything is shutting down all around the world. Yeah, that's right. And too, with people losing perspective, you got to understand, in a country of China, what do you got? 2.5, 3 billion people. They live on top of each other. And I haven't been to China, but I've been to that region of the world. And I guess if you're the type of person that's been there, you understand the sanitation conditions over there. And it's no wonder they get every disease that comes along. The sanitation is terrible. The pollution is awful. I mean, I think they can see it from the space station, actually. And as somebody said the other day, that now that they've shut down the economy, the air is clean and you can breathe. But, it'll go right back to the way it was because it's China. They live on top of each other. Sanitation is poor. In the remote areas, they got all the provinces and outside the bigger cities where it's still remote and, there's still farming communities. They kind of just go to the bathroom wherever. And when they put up signs in the shopping centers, don't poop on the sidewalk, because people that come in from the outskirt areas will just stop what they're doing and pop a squat and drop one right on the sidewalk, because that's just what they do where they live. So there's a lot of that. When bird flu was going around, a lot of those countries, the chickens live in their living room, for crying out loud. They got chickens in their house. So animals, it's third world living. Does that mean all the stores are going to be closed also? I don't know. I've been wondering, been waiting to see more of that. Just went out to dinner tonight. at a local bar, and I got to thinking, when are they going to force the restaurants closed? And I guess they made some kind of rule here in Wisconsin or wherever that if there's more than 50 people, you're not allowed to gather. Well, what does that mean? If there's 49, you can't get sick? It's just ridiculous. All these arbitrary rules they're throwing out because they don't know what else to do because they're stupid. But whatever. I'm going to continue doing things the way I do them. They're not going to change what I do. This is so crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. We haven't really seen anything else like this at least in the last 30 years anyway. It's kind of weird too. Not saying it's a conspiracy or anything like that, just observation. At about every 2 years, there's a new boogeyman. SARS, bird flu, Zika virus, coronavirus, swine flu, bird flu, West Nile, on and on. Sad part is people are not prepared for anything. You got that right. Everybody's so quick to judge and make fun of people that try to be prepared for stuff. And guess who's laughing now? Me neither. I've never seen anything like this. Yeah. Neither have I. I mean, never seen anything like this hysteria. We've seen diseases before. The only one I was actually worried about was Ebola, because I'm kind of familiar with Ebola, and that one could have been bad. But I don't know how they cornered that so well. It's not as highly contagious as probably the coronavirus, where it's airborne, but Ebola is a nasty one. I don't know if you remember that from a few years ago. Then they brought that one guy back to the U.S., to Atlanta. I'm like, ugh. I don't know if you should be bringing him back here. Send him to, Walter Reed, or what's that one we got over there in England? I don't know. We got a military hospital over there. Send him there and treat him before you bring him back here. But and smallpox would probably be a bad one too. But I don't know. Really don't know. It's just irrational right now. It's weird. I keep looking at my computer screen instead of the camera up here at you guys. It's hard to make yourself look because all the comments are down here on the screen. But yeah, so we're hanging in there. I don't know anybody that's sick or anything, but I do know people that are freaking out. But yeah, and the financial storm is really only yet to come. The stock market is what the stock market is, but it really hurt if businesses start closing or telling people to stay home, or they may be forced to stay home. If the governor says, all right, nobody goes to work, then guess what? You don't go to work. I'm sick in the head. You're darn right you are there, Mike H. One sick puppy in the head. Just kidding. No sicker than the rest of us. Check out Cherry's life of journey and subscribe to her channel. Nice lady. But yeah, with trucking, things were already slow. And with all this, happening, I'm guessing that, there's going to be a lag time there. Although I've been getting a lot of emails from places here looking for trucks and not being able to find one, which seems odd to me. But I guess Procter & Gamble and some of the other companies that make cleaning supplies and toilet paper are kind of pulling capacity away from the rest of the market. Got a few emails of a couple of places. We need to cover this P&G freight. It increased by 80%. P&G is Procter & Gamble. And one of them said, name your price. So, but that's all dry van freight. So it's not in my wheelhouse. But and then you know, there's some lag time here in the next few months, and things do get worse. There's a lot of people financially that are already on the edge, having a hard time hanging in there, and see if it pushes anybody over the edge. After you pass on, can I have all your toilet paper? Well, it's funny you say that because I did not go out and buy any extra toilet paper. I refused to do that. But about, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, I had a load of toilet paper. I haul a lot of toilet paper and paper towels and stuff. And I had like 6 damaged cases they left on my trailer. And I had to, they say get rid of them, whatever, throw them away, donate them. So I bring them home. I got 6 cases of toilet paper sitting in my garage right now. I didn't pay for any of it. You can't have any. I won't even sell it to you. It's my retirement plan. By the time I retire, it should be worth thousands of dollars. Then I'll sell you some. But it's kind of ironic. $200 a roll on eBay. God, I hope not. I hope that's a joke, but something tells me it might not be. I don't know. The way people are acting, it might be true. Yeah, if you can't go to the store and buy it at any price, they ought to just be rationing it at this point. It's stupidity. But I guess whatever, let people buy it. Then at least, Procter and Gamble and Kimberly Clark and all these companies maybe can keep their stock price up just by poetic justice, I guess, or doing things the right way. I happen to own some stock in Clorox, and while everybody else's stock is crap in the bed, Clorox is just ticking up every day, just plugging right along. You can see the toilet paper fights here on YouTube. Man, I believe it. I just can't watch it. It's people never cease to amaze me. I suppose they're acting like it's Black Friday or something, huh? Where they're fighting over a TV that's $25 off. We had a guy advertise out wood as toilet paper making material. $40 a piece of wood. Yeah, somebody would probably do it too. We'll have all these instead of meth labs, we'll have toilet paper shacks in the woods where they buy all these dangerous chemicals to make toilet paper, and then pretty soon you'll have to show your ID to buy firewood because you could be making bootleg toilet paper, I suppose. Yeah. I don't know. I would think, I don't even know where the hell did that thing come from to go buy toilet paper anyways. Must have been somebody in the news. Because if you do your own research on it, you'll see that coronavirus, diarrhea is not even a thing. You should probably be buying Kleenex and Pedialyte and stuff like that. I don't know. It's craziness. Media loves fury. Man, you got that right. You got that right. But you know what? They need to be held accountable. They're killing this country. They're killing this economy. And it's all of them. CNN, CNBC, Fox News, all of them. And obviously you have to keep a free press. But I tell you what, man, if anybody else was out there peddling this kind of fear, there'd be investigations. They're causing. I don't know if you remember a few years ago when Oprah said something bad about the cattle industry. Just one comment, and it tanked the price of beef. Well, I don't see how this is any different. What the media is doing, hyping this as best they can. They're killing the economy. Nobody really do anything about it, and it ain't a statement one way or the other towards good or bad about Trump, but I think if somebody's gonna, crack down on this media, he's the guy to do it. They're sick as people on him. They need to knock it off. Over sensationalizing everything. And I'm not saying it ain't a real disease or it ain't bad, but they aren't telling the truth. You're right, Mike. Fear sells. Yes, Cowboys filed a lawsuit. Yes, they did, and I believe Oprah lost. I think she had to pay out a lot of money, if I remember right, and she had to shut her damn mouth. Yeah, there's laws against that. You can't do that kind of stuff. Make disparaging remarks. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, people are going to lose their jobs, and companies are telling people to stay home and work from home, and they canceled all the schools here around me and for the next few weeks in the whole state. The problem is people are going to realize this is a viable way to do business. It's not necessarily a problem, but in a way it is. It's going to change. This coronavirus is going to change the economy forever. And the reason that is because people are going to realize this is a viable way to do business, that people can work from home. People can go to school from home. We don't need you. We don't need these big fancy buildings. We don't need, tons of whatever to support you here at work. You can stay home and we can make this work. That's going to, be the new economy. Beard is weird. What does that mean? I don't have a beard. I don't know. Maybe it looks like I do. Oh, there's a red light on this microphone. Maybe it looks like I got a red beard. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it's going to change the way business is done. And there's going to be a lot more, video conferencing, working from home, working remotely. Oh, that's not nice. A fat Trump tard. What the hell is that? Anyway, I guess I don't know. I guess I did make one comment about him. You don't know me. If you knew my politics, you wouldn't even say that, but I don't care. Doing. Yeah, I decided to try out this live stream thing. Learned it from watching you. Yeah, if you got to check out Vic Med's channel. Good, does some good videos there down in Southern California, hauling out of the ports down there. Are things still really slow down there? Ports? Vic is a good guy. He's been really supportive. Not like that Indiana Jones character there. Yeah, so since the Chinese economy's been, virtually shut down, there's no containers coming in or out of the port, basically. Southern California, I don't know what everybody down there is going to do. It's devastating, I guess. I know Vic said he's put his trucks to work hauling power only for different people, Schneider and some, Amazon stuff, and they are dead, but Schneider has been keeping my trucks pretty busy. Yeah, they don't have a bad deal over there. I tried it once for a week just to see how it would go. It was okay. The rates really aren't bad for power only. The guy had trouble keeping me as busy as I wanted to be, and then he kind of left me hanging for a weekend. So it's just that was my only beef with them. But a lot of drop and hook. He the money that he promised me was there. But I didn't know if I wanted to do it full time. I just wanted to try it for a week and I know it's there, and they're pretty decent to deal with. Kind of a big company bureaucracy, which I'm not used to. If your particular agent isn't there, you have to talk to somebody else or try and get a hold of somebody on the weekend. That was difficult. Oh, because I work with a broker and their load board. Okay, I didn't do the load board because the guy that I got set up with promised me this certain amount of money that I would average, and just in order to keep that up, I just kept dealing with him personally. It seemed okay. I don't know. He was a broker there though, out of Green Bay. So, but then their trailers too were a little bit sketchy. I think every trailer I touched had one problem or another. But I guess that's to be expected from big company like that. And I don't know how JB Hunt's power only program would be. Just on paper, Schneider's seemed to be a little better. But all right, we'll see you in a minute there, Cherry. Yeah, but when times are slow, you do what you got to do to keep your head above water. And I think that's what a lot of people in every industry are forgetting right now. There's certain times when you just got to hang in there, and it might not be good. It might not be what you want to do, but you take it to keep your head above water, stay in business, and keep going. When the broker doesn't have a load, I look on the load board and then call the broker to book the load. Okay. All right. I see how you do that. Big carriers will be asked to head up a quick restock and supply. Yeah, that's true. Because they got the capacity. When you want something done, you got to find somebody that can do the work. Do you think that will short or rise when they open up again? There's going to be some long-term effects in the stock market from all this. Obviously, I'm no Wall Street worker or whatever, but I don't trust those guys anyway. Things, it'll probably, when things open up again and start moving again, everybody's back to work, things are back to normal. It's going to start to tick up again, but there's going to be lag time. Like I said earlier, companies report earnings quarterly, and these bad numbers aren't going to show up until next quarter's earnings and even the quarter after that. So things won't rise right away. Numbers are going to look bad going forwards for several quarters, maybe even into next year. There's a lag time in everything. So, but as long as the fundamentals don't change, this isn't 1987. I remember that. I remember Black Friday. I was a kid, and we played the radio in the barn. I was out feeding cows, and all I kept hearing was the stock market crashed, and people were jumping out of windows. I don't even know if that really happened, but that's what they were saying. And the market was down. Geez, I think the Dow was less than 1,000 back in those days. It was 800 maybe. I was 11 years old. I remember just talking about it and how bad things were, how everything was going to be. But back then, the SNLs, overnight people were bankrupt because of the SNL crisis. This isn't that. And 2008, you had the banking crisis. All these big banks were just bankrupt, and there was massive fraud everywhere. The fundamentals were bad. This isn't that either. There's not all those underlying problems. There's going to be some problems. There's going to be bad earnings. Of course, there'll probably be companies here and there that don't make it, don't do very well. There are ones that'll probably never recover, ones that'll take 20 years to recover. But as of right now, this isn't that. So I'm not panicking about my investments. And in fact, the quality investments I have, there's always different levels of risk you take. You have your smaller positions, but your core holdings, core positions, I'm adding to it when I can, seeing it as an opportunity, because my time horizon is 30 years. If my time horizon was 10 years, I'd be approaching it way different. But along with everything else, you keep it in perspective. Perspective is key, man. And it's what happens when you go and sign a maturity. And, especially in investments. Disney's stock rose by 12% today during Trump's conference, but the parks are closed. Kind of crazy. Yeah, Disney, that's one of those companies where it's going to take a lot of quarters to show this out, but they have that. Oh, what's their new streaming service they have coming out to compete with Netflix? That's a big deal. So that's going to keep their stock strong from totally collapsing. Their parks are closed. Yeah, hope not for too long. That's a lot of revenue. Oh, Vic says I'm also doing JB Hunt. They're pretty good as well. Okay. I was wondered. I was tempted to try that too for a week or two and just see what it looks like, but it will look like the 9/11 aftermath. Maybe. We don't know. Let's drink a beer, bro. All right, we'll get some Coronas. Supposedly that's the anecdote to the coronavirus. Funny how AT&T 20 million and laid off 20,000 last 2 years. Yeah, that's not cool. Fairly familiar with AT&T stock. I wouldn't touch it. AT&T bit off a lot more than they can chew, man, with all that debt, buying out Time Warner, and they have a streaming service that's supposed to compete with Netflix and Disney. I think it's Disney Plus it's called. They can't compete. They can't, because Disney Plus is going to be, I think they're offering it initially at $6 a month. AT&T can't offer their service that cheap, and it's not as good. Disney has all the big names, all these Avenger movies, all that stuff. Disney owns all that. Yeah, Disney Plus, yes. Yeah. This Disney streaming service is a big deal for them. So yeah, I've wanted to buy their stock, but it's just been so dang expensive. Star Wars, yep. And I don't know about Harry Potter and stuff too. I don't think so. I'm not in touch with the comic book world. Sorry, but I know they're all the big blockbuster movies and names are now under Disney. But yeah, back to AT&T, and they pay a healthy dividend. I'm not sure they're going to be able to support that. They probably can. They'll raise it slowly. They're a dividend aristocrat, which means they've increased their dividend every year for at least 25 years, and they're a member of the S&P 500. So that's important. Once a company becomes a dividend aristocrat, they don't like to lose that status. But that doesn't mean their stock price will hold up. I haven't checked it in the last few days. I don't want to know what it is. It's probably in the low 20s, I'd imagine. But if you're looking for a telecom play, I'd take Verizon every day of the week over AT&T. It's a pure telecom company. They know exactly what they're doing. They're good at it. They're going to be a leader in 5G. Their debt is appropriate for their market cap, and they also pay a solid dividend. They don't increase it as much every year, but it's they grow it typically every year. But yeah, Vic, man, I don't know if you're still in here, but take a moment to properly thank you, man, for you've been awfully nice to me, in your videos and stuff and your live streams, and you give some pretty good, solid advice and guidance to people down there, and teaching them how to haul out of the port and stuff. You're a smart guy. I like you a lot. You should make investing videos. I was gonna do 2 channels. That's kind of my side thing. I don't know if you call it a side thing, but it's almost like a full-time job. I like that world. Unfortunately, if you watch my videos, I'm not very entertaining. I like education and showing people how to do things. I'm not articulate and entertaining, and that's kind of what you got to be to do investing videos and stuff like that. That's what people want to hear, unfortunately. And it's one of the things that kind of drives me nuts about YouTube is I've found some great channels, man, where you can learn a lot, but it seems like to a certain point people don't want to be educated, man. They want to be entertained. And I don't know, I could be wrong. I know there's a lot of people that do want to be educated, and that's great. And two, you know, there's different ways to do everything. And some people think there's only one way to do stuff and I'm pretty new to YouTube here. And boy, I tell you what, man, you want to find out if you got thick skin or not, if you can take a if you can take a trashing from people, start a YouTube channel. A lot of people are not nice. They say some nasty things. And it's just like, hey, if you don't like it, don't watch. And you find somebody that's only trying to help. You may not like it, whatever, but man, they're just trying to help you. You know, this will send many companies with bad debt to income ratios in the crapper. Yeah, you got that right, Mike. It's going to point out poorly run companies. And um, one thing to say too is, I don't know how to say this without sounding like I'm crapping on somebody, but I'll just say it. Millennials and younger people have only ever known a bull market. We've been in a strong bull market for more than 10 years, okay, with very little corrections. And they've just been able to buy any investment and has done nothing but go up. And that's not good for people. It doesn't teach them how to manage adversity and invest in quality. They can just pick any old thing. Oops, my computer came unplugged here. And it would go up. And it doesn't teach you how to be an investor. That just teaches you how to stick money in a bull market and watch it go up. And a lot of the financial YouTube channels, that's exactly what it is, hey, look at my $8,000 dividend portfolio and how much it's growing. Well, yeah. What's it like now? It's not only how much you make in the good times, it's how much you don't lose when times are bad. Loaded with 54,000 pounds of corn, staying busy on a Friday night. Oh, hey, thanks, Envy. He likes the song too. So, yeah, somebody made me that little rap ditty there. I thought it was pretty cool. And actually, I had somebody make it for me. I just said, hey, here's what I want on a song. Go make it. And he comes back with that. And I'm like, that's catchy. I like that. I know some people probably find it annoying, but that's why I don't put it in every video. But yeah, anyway, investors will realize how bad they are actually run. Yeah, but that's what comes with, being an investor for 20 years or a long time. And Icon 2020 there about making investing videos, I intend to get into that. I'm gonna start a new video series here. It's kind of a big project. I'm not ready to start it yet, but at the end of it, we'll be getting into that, and kind of excited to do it. But it's turning out to be a lot of homework and a lot of math involved. I don't know if people are gonna like it or not, but I'm gonna do it anyways because I want to do it, and this is my channel. So, oh, great, well, good. I'm glad somebody likes that stuff. I watch on my view counts on videos, and the ones where we're fixing something, on the truck tend to do really good, but the business videos don't do that good. I know I've had some audio problems. I'm really working on that. I'm having a hard time getting all that figured out because nobody wants to kind of answer any questions for me, but I'll get it figured out eventually. But yeah, the business videos don't do that great. That's kind of disappointing to me because it's as important as anything else, man. Everybody complains about cheap freight, yet they have no idea what their cost per mile is. So, man, how can you How can you say what cheap freight is? And don't get me wrong, I don't like cheap freight either. We should all make as much as we can, but um, man, you don't know what cheap freight is unless you know your cost per mile. You could be making, some people say $1.50 a mile freight is cheap freight. Well, what if your cost per mile is like 80 cents, You're clearing 70 cents a mile. That's not cheap freight. But at the same token, I think a lot of people's cost per mile is higher than they think it is. You know, they may think it's, you know, a buck a mile when it's really a buck 30 a mile. And you need to know that too, because then you can work on getting it down and you have to, you know. Money has been real easy as of late for many people. That's why the money videos don't do well. Maybe that's true. Maybe that's true. Maybe they'll start doing better now, but I don't know. I want truck drivers to be better business people. I really do, because it's important, man. I'll just say it like this, because it's the way I see it, and it may not be true for everybody, but truck drivers. There's a lot of people that used to be have some real good paying jobs and high education that do this, but for the most part, people that drive truck don't have high levels of education. Most of us aren't college graduates. This is the best money we can make, you know, for the education level we have. And too many people piss it away. To be honest with you, there is so much opportunity making this level of income. We should all retire, have a great retirement, you know, but we don't. It's unfortunate because there's so much opportunity here. I want to get into all that. Kind of wish people were more interested, but they get what they're ready for. Not everybody's ready to hear something all the time. I've certainly been guilty of that. It's part of what they call growing up and maturing, I guess. But the opportunity, everybody says how bad things are. Yeah, they suck. Things suck in trucking right now, man. But keep an eye on the bigger picture. There's a ton of opportunity for you know the average person. This is probably the best money somebody like us with very little formal education after high school will ever make. Um, unless you get an electrician or plumber or whatever, but generally you have to go to tech school or something for that. And boy, you know, have to do videos on that stuff too, because the way people are now with only wanting to be in computers and doing this and that, and nobody wants to touch a hammer. I've always made the joke that someday somebody's going to pay me $100 to come to their house and drive a nail in the wall because they don't know how to do anything. We got to teach our young people how to do stuff, man, because everything's a dying art. You know, it's terrible. If I had a big business, big company or whatever, I don't care what it was, I would hire every farm kid I could get my hands on. They know how to do things and they know how to work. But this is my opinion. Holy cow, 49 minutes already. Wow, I never thought I'd go that long. I haven't really shut up either. I think I was capable of talking that long. But the trades are shunned upon since the early 80s. Yeah, you got that right. That's too bad. Trades are important. They're critical. But you know what? The more they're shunned upon, the more that's where the money is going to be. People like us, people like plumbers, electricians, people that do construction, welders, man, those jobs are only going to continue to pay more and more because everybody thinks they're above doing it. Nothing ticks me off more when somebody says to their kid, "Oh, if you don't go to school and study hard, what are you going to end up being, a plumber?" Yeah, man, plumbers make a lot of money, you know? But the only thing that doesn't now is farmers. That's unfortunate. They deserve to make a lot of money. They work hard, you know? Farming and truck driving are a lot alike. They really are. Only there's better money to be made in trucking, probably. as bad as we think we have it. Try being a farmer. Jeepers. You know? So who else is still out there? Mike H is hanging in there. The Icon, man. Tell me about yourself. Where are you from, man? I've seen you on the channel a couple times, I think. Dropped a couple comments. They're hand in hand. Yeah, farming and trucking kind of go together. They really do. Everybody hit that like button if you haven't already. Still trying to figure out this YouTube algorithm thing. Man, it can be hard on you sometimes. I missed a video on this last Saturday. I've been putting out a video every Saturday since I started. And I missed one on Saturday, and boy, did that algorithm punish me. Holy cow. It likes consistency, that's for sure. But then it helps you get your videos out to more people. One thing that drives me nuts, like I said, people want to be entertained, is there's people that pop a dash cam on their dash of their truck and just show videos of them driving around, and man, they got 10,000 subscribers. I'm like, 10,000 people want to see that? Yeah, I'm here with my lowly 385 subscribers. I appreciate it though, man. I never thought 385 people would want to watch my garbage. It's kind of neat. You know what? A lot of the people have been really nice. But yeah, farming and truck driving are a lot alike. You'll get there. Keep doing live streaming. Yeah, I thought I'd try it out. There's a guy I watch, Alex Express. Well, Vic Med is one. He was in the chat here earlier. You should check out his stuff. He's a pretty good guy. And then Alex Express 3, I think the channel is. I watch him live streaming all the time. He's a truck driver. He talks mostly about YouTube though, and how to do YouTube, and met a lot of nice people in his chat rooms. The Icon, work in tech. Also part-time trucker from Washington and BC, Canada. Oh, wow. Tech and a truck driver. Boy, that's a weird combination. That's pretty neat. From Washington and BC. So you probably go back and forth. I used to go up to Canada. I had an interesting British Columbia. So I'm downtown in Vancouver under all the big buildings. I used to do flatbed. I had a truck with a crane. Downtown in Vancouver under all the high rises. I had to deliver some big flower planters to a McDonald's downtown in a high rise building. And I'm unloading under the, I don't know what kind of trolley lines. They're all over the street. And I got to keep my crane out of these trolley lines. So keeping the crane low and lifting these heavy concrete pots is hard on the crane. It stresses it a lot. So I'm doing this for like 4 hours, and I'm on the last one and busted a hydraulic line on the crane. And I lost 100 gallons of hydraulic fluid on the street in downtown Vancouver. And boy, I tell you what, you want to talk about people freaking out. You would have thought I set their city on fire. They're clean and proud of it up there, and I just dumped a bunch of hydraulic fluid all over their street, and it's running down the amount of incline. It's running down the street, going to run into the storm drain, and I'm dumping kitty litter and putting out these socks there that are supposed to absorb it. I kept it out of the storm drain, but oh man, that was a stressful situation. There's people, thousands of people walking by there just horrified. Man, I tell you what, that was a bad day. What website app do you use to invest in stocks? I'm a Fidelity guy myself. I like Fidelity. I like the interface. I'm not saying they're any better than anybody else, but it's what I'm used to, and I like their features. Their fees have always been reasonable, even back when they charged fees. Vanguard is a good one. Charles Schwab is a good one. I don't like, it's my personal opinion, I don't like these new ones like Robinhood, M1 Finance, and Webull. For the simple fact, well, you've seen what happened to Robinhood in the last few weeks. on these days when you got a 2,000 point crash in the Dow, Robinhood failed. People have lost tens of millions of dollars because they couldn't get into their account and trade their stocks. They don't have the support. You can't get anybody on the phone. They make it hard for you to get your money out. You can't do limit orders, effective limit orders, especially on M1 Finance. Especially now Fidelity, Vanguard, they all let you trade fractional shares. There's no commissions. So you might as well get a full service discount brokerage. You know, why would you go with Robinhood and, Fidelity? You can trade on your phone too. Is Glider Kit truck still available to buy from the manufacturer? It's getting hard. They're about to be done. I know a company near me has been getting them. It takes some work and it takes a lot of money because they're in demand. If you want a glider kit, you better be prepared to cough up some money because the competition is tough for them. If you're looking for one, I just buy a used one. I mean, the prices are overinflated on a used one too, but buy that sucker and treat it like it's your baby. I mean, take good care of it, rebuild that thing from top to bottom. That's what I've been doing with mine. I have a glider kit, and that's my ride or die, man. That's my truck. And, I put a lot of maintenance into it to keep it going, keep it in great shape. They last a long time. You can take and get a new cab. I got a Freightliner. You can get the full complete cab, pop yours off, put a new one on for about $40,000. You get your motor overhauled, get a crate motor, rebuild your suspension. Work on it a little bit at a time through the years. You can keep that truck like new. There's a lot you can do. Trucks last way longer than people give them credit for. You see freaking 1989 Peterbilt still on the road because somebody took care of it. Granted, a Freightliner is not a Peterbilt in quality. I get that. But somebody told me a long time ago the difference, how the airline industry does their maintenance. And I got to thinking, if we did our maintenance that way, trucks would last way longer. They'd be in better shape. People would be better off. They actually practice true preventive maintenance, which the airline industry has a schedule. Let's take an engine, for example. That engine should last. They assign a number to it, say 100. I'm just making this up for a number, 100,000 hours of runtime. When that engine hits 100,000 hours of runtime, it's gone. It's off the truck. It's getting sent back to Pratt & Whitney, or Whitney Pratt, I forget. And it's getting totally refurbished, whether it needs it or not. If we did things like that on the truck, we'd have a lot less roadside breakdowns. You'd have a lot more control over your maintenance costs because you're doing it where you want, when you want, for the price you want, rather than being held up by somebody practically at gunpoint. There's a lot of little things. If you're, I just make something up. I don't know. I'm just totally making this up. So if your starter is 6 years old or whatever, keep an eye on it. Look at replacing it. Stuff like that. You don't have to spend a lot of money. And things like I can get a starter at Freightliner. Sometimes they have sales for like $230. They have these blowout sales. Just buy one and keep it. And when you think it's time, change it. Come up with your own schedule of how long you think this component should last and that component should last, and change it when you think it's ready. Rather than in trucking, we take everything to failure. I don't know. Is that the best way to do things? Nobody else does that. Well, people do. That's a bad thing to say, but would we be better off doing it the other way? Maybe. We don't wait till our tires blow to change them. We don't run them down to the cord and wait for a blowout. If they get down to a couple 16ths, a couple 30 seconds, whatever, we're changing them, right? I don't know, just kind of something I've been doing lately, and it's kept me from having breakdowns on the side of the road. Only interjection I'll put is that our part for trucks have gone downhill, even on. You got that right. Parts qualities are kind of in the crapper. They take these parts off the truck and they send them to Mexico to be refurbished, and they check the tolerances. And well, if you sent your turbo to be remanned and they check the bearing play, it's within tolerance, they don't replace the bearings. Well, they should. There should be a complete reman of the part. So yeah, I agree. I agree. It's things aren't being done right, and that's turbos, alternators. I've had a fair bit of problems with alternators. Bearings going out. I got one now. I think the regulator just went out. Wasn't even all that old, but all different parts. People have problems with different parts. And to say, one truck is better, and obviously there's a difference in quality. I run Freightliner because of the economics of it, not because it's the best, prettiest, greatest truck on the road. Obviously, like a Kenworth and a Peterbilt they're nicer trucks. But when you sit down and crunch the numbers, man, Freightliners are economical. There's a reason that's why what the big companies run. People think it's only because they're cheap. Well, yeah, that plays a part in it, but the parts are also cheaper. Fuel economy is better. Simplicity of working on them, the availability of parts when you break down. We've become a throwaway society. You got that right too. We certainly are. I think it's going to bite us in the ass someday. That goes back to people not knowing how to fix things too. If everything's a throwaway society, pretty soon nobody knows how to fix anything either. That's tragic. Because eventually, the really important things will become throwaway. We don't want that. I definitely don't want that. But yeah, think, we got time to think going down the road. So just kind of ponder that in your head. You know what? I don't run my tires to failure. What else should I not be running to failure? Like this stupid little video I did about changing your alternator belt. Why run that to failure, man? It's a freaking $30 part. Have a spare, it's something that small and simple can just ruin your day. Late delivery, if you're delivering to a Kroger or a Walmart, you know how it is trying to reschedule appointments with these people, man. I don't know. Well, this is pretty neat. This is a pretty good experience for boy. I totally got off topic though. I was intending to talk about coronavirus and stocks. I guess we kind of went all over the board on everything. But you guys have all been great, except for that one turd. You called me a turd. What do you call me? Let's look here. Called me a Trump turd. I don't think I'm a Trump turd. Let's say all I said was he was hard on the media. Maybe that's a good thing at this point right now. But yeah. Well, I think I'm going to end this here unless anybody else has any questions. Keep up the good work. Oh, that's so nice. Your heater blower video was very helpful to me a few days ago. Thanks. Oh, yeah. That project was that was a difficult project. And, that's the thing. My videos, I try to leave my mistakes in. I tell you what, that's not without me taking some heat for it when I do something wrong. Holy crap, people let me know about it. But you know what? That's how you learn things. If I don't leave my mistakes in there and tell you all the crap I went through, changing a heater blower, simple job, man. Well, you know what? It's not going to be a simple job all the time. I went through some crap on that, man. The wiring was wrong. The wiring diagram I got from Freightliner was wrong. That's what you're supposed to be able to rely on. It doesn't help anybody if you don't show all that. But I was hoping it would help somebody. That was cool. That's kind of the purpose of the whole thing I'm doing here is to try and help. Not everybody likes it, but it's up to them, you know. But yeah. Um, in relation to that, I'll tell you a quick story. 2 years ago, relatively new to this truck, needed some air conditioning work done. Took it into Freightliner because my other shop was busy. And $3,500 later, I come out, the air conditioning worked for 2 days and then it quit. And I got to talking to a friend of mine and talking about air conditioning. He explained a lot to me and told me how to do some things, And I started doing my own air conditioning work. So keep this in mind. I spent $3,200 at Freightliner for him to fix something that worked for 2 days. So I went out and I bought the vacuum pump, the pressure lines, and all that stuff. Bought myself a ton of. I bought a new compressor, new lines, rebuilt most all of that freaking system for $1,000. Did it myself, and it's worked for. I haven't had a problem with it since. So people say, "Oh, you don't just throw parts at anything." Diagnose it. Well, you know what? I got a $3,200 diagnosis that was wrong. Could have just done that $1,000 in the first place and get a lot of new parts, and the darn thing works. And I got a whole lot of education out of it. Mike H, you're welcome. Yeah, that was you, buddy. Good man. Good man. Thank you. So, all right, we're kind of tailing off here. So just tell everybody thanks for jumping on tonight. If you haven't already, hit the like button. It really helps me out. And that was a nice response here. So we'll do this again. And I should have another new video coming out tomorrow, man. So, all right, take it easy, everybody. We'll see you next time.